Recording in progress. I hate that new feature. All right, we're sitting at the listing table. It's time to close. I have to move my chair, my table just a little bit because I can't see Jonathan, and that's not good. I can barely see Ryan. I have to go over the top of the computer there to be able to see him. All right. My one close that I use on a listing presentation, Jeffrey, is, are you ready to get started? That's it. You don't have to have a whole lot of closes. That one works. Now, if they say yes, what would be the next step, Brian? Start filling out paperwork, right? That's it. If they say, yeah, ready to get started, cool, let's start filling out paperwork. The response is not, really? The response is, cool, let's start filling out paperwork. Now, if they respond no, or I don't know, or not yet, the follow-up question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, Ryan, with 1 being you don't like anything I said, and you can't wait for me to leave, humor works. Use it. On a scale of 1 to 10, Ryan, with 1 being you don't like anything I said, you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Now time out for a moment and pay attention, because that's a great embedded command. I'm the right agent for the job, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't like anything I said, you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Where are we? 8. Okay. So Ryan said 8. My response, your response is, what would it, nice and loud. What can I do to make it a 10? There it is. What would make it a 10? There's another response. What am I fishing for? I'm fishing for, it starts with an O.
Objections.
Thank you. I heard it on my headphone from Zoom land. Great job, guys. I'm fishing for an objection. I want objections. When you hear an objection, they're interested. If they don't have an objection, they're not interested. If I was shopping and the salesperson asked me, what do you think? And my response was, all right, I'll let you know. I'm not interested. If my response is, I'm looking for golf clubs. I just don't like the grips on these clubs. It just doesn't feel right. It's an objection, right? That means I'm interested. If you're working with a buyer and you're walking the buyer through the property and they start tearing the property apart and they start talking about all the things they don't like, that's a good thing. It means they're interested. They have objections. If you're walking a buyer through a property and they're not pointing out anything they don't like, they just want to leave the house. It's next. But if they're standing in the kitchen and they're like, oh, this kitchen is awful. I hate this wallpaper. These cabinets are outdated. The countertops are outdated. That buyer's interested in that house. You guys got that? Now that's a different class, but my response to them would be, can you fix it? That's it. Script. Can you fix it? And then watch the buyer go, oh yeah, here's what I would do. I would take the wallpaper down, I would paint, I'd put in new cabinets, I put in new countertops, and they start answering their own objection. And your response to that is, sounds good. Want to make an offer? Versus this buyer hates this house, there's no way they're going to buy it. No, they don't. They like the house. All right, that was a bunny trail. Back to the listing presentation. So Diane, are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to fill out paperwork. Now give me a no.
Oh, he said no. Okay. No, I'm not.
Okay, I understand. So Diane, just out of curiosity, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not so great and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job, where are we?
Well, it really has nothing to do with you, John. I just
I'm not sure if we're gonna be using you as our agent.
Okay, so
We're
she's
gonna
not,
be interviewing more people.
this is good. Real example, right? She's not playing along. That's okay. I'm going to ask the question again. So on a scale of 1 to 10, just 1 being you don't like anything I said, 10 being you feel like I can help you get your goals accomplished. Where are we?
Boy, I'd say about a 9.
9. There we go. Just out of curiosity, what would it take for us to be a 10? What do we need to do to get to a 10?
Well, I'm just not ready to sign.
Okay, there we go. She said she's not ready to sign. Diane, just out of curiosity, if you were ready to sign, if I was sitting here a week from now, am I the right agent for the job?
I believe so, yes.
Great, there you go. So she's just not ready yet, and all we have to do is get past her not being ready yet. So Diane, what would we need to do today in order for you to be ready to hire me today? What do I need to offer that I haven't offered yet that would make me the right agent for the job? What question do I need to answer that I haven't answered that would make me the right agent for the job? Just out of curiosity, if I were willing to work for free, would you hire me today?
That's not the issue, John.
Okay,
The issue is we're not sure if we're ready to move.
okay. Not sure she's ready to move yet. Well, I'm not going to talk her into moving, right? That may not be, it's my job to meet Diane's goals and exceed her expectations. And I'm not attached to the outcome. Remember, this is not about me. It's about the seller. And in this particular example, not ready to move, it may not be the right thing for Diane to do in order to get her, in order to put her home on the market, but there are some questions that I can ask. If you're taking notes, write down. The answer is in the questions. The answer is in the questions that you're asking. If you want better answers, ask better questions. So Diane, just out of curiosity, if you did wait, this isn't the right time. When do you believe the right time is?
We're looking for a home,
Mhm.
and we've been looking, and we've had a challenge because we want a bigger home, and we're afraid of the timing because we're looking for something very specific, and so we're just afraid if we put the house on the market and then we sell it in this market, we know it's crazy, it'll sell tomorrow, then we're not going to have a place to go.
Okay, got it.
It's a real life thing.
So your biggest concern is finding the right property to move into, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. And if we were able to sell your home with a contingency that says the contract is contingent on the seller finding a property and getting under contract within 30 days, and you could cancel the contract if you don't find the right property to purchase. Would you feel more comfortable if we had a contingency that said the sale of your home was contingent on you finding a property and going under contract within 30 days?
Yeah, that would actually work.
Okay. Yep. What if we had a contract in which we negotiated a 60-day lease back to you so that you can stay on the property post closing for 60 days rent free, and that gave you an additional 60 days to identify the right property to move into? Would that help?
That could totally help. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you shared with me that you're selling your home and you're moving in order to blank, whatever the reason is. We're getting back to motivation because at this point she's lost sight of motivation, and I need to help Diane get back to that motivation. You shared with me that you were selling your home in order to move to blank, and it was important to you because of blank. Is that still important to you?
Yes.
All right. And if we don't identify the right home to move to, let's just say hypothetically, you're still here 6 months from now versus being in blank. How do you feel about that?
Well, I just don't want to miss the opportunity of this market to get the most out of the price.
Okay. And between now and 6 months from now, if more homes come on the market and you have more competition, is it going to be harder to sell your home or easier to sell your home with more competition?
Probably harder.
Harder, yeah. And if interest rates go up, is your home going to be more affordable or less affordable?
Less affordable.
Yeah. And all those things could happen, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. If one of your neighbors has a home that is foreclosed on, is that going to cause the value of your home to go up, or is the value of your home coming down?
Down.
Yeah. And all those things can happen between now and 6 months from now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if we were able to get your home on the market now, the data is showing us that we should be able to get it sold within 30 days for top dollar. What if you had to move twice? If you had to move twice in order to get out at the top of the market, would the pain of moving twice be worth the pleasure of getting out at the top of the market? No?
No.
Okay. So it's worth the risk.
I mean, I don't want to move twice and I want to avoid that.
Okay. We could have this conversation for a half hour and we're not
I'm
going
being
to.
realistic.
No, she's doing a great job. And I gave you a number of questions that you can ask on that appointment, right? Very good. Okay. The other responses that you're going to hear is, I need to think it over, right? The answer to I need to think it over is, we've been sitting here for probably an hour, and I know I've gotten some calls and emails and text messages that I need to return. So why don't I go out and sit in my car, return a couple calls, text messages and emails, and you come out and get me when you're ready. If that sounds too simple, I promise you it works. I promise you I listed hundreds of homes using that response to I need to think it over. Does it always work? No. And it never works when you don't try it. Now, the other response that you might get to, and these are all, what would it take to make us a 10? These are all the responses to what would it take to make us a 10? The other response you might get is your commission's too high. And your response to that, Ryan, is if I were willing to lower my fee, would you hire me today? Great. So if I were willing to, my fee is 6%. And if I were willing to list your home for 5%, you would hire me today?
Yes.
Great. Can I share with you why that concerns me? Super. You see, Ryan, when a seller asks me if I'm willing to negotiate my fee, I'm also hearing them ask how good of a negotiator I am. And the good news for you is I'm a really good negotiator. You see, if I were willing to give away my money that quickly in order to get your listing, how quickly would I give up your money when we have an offer on your home? You see, what's going to happen in real life is if you hire that limited service discount broker, it's a silent slam. You're throwing your competition under the bus. You're doing that on purpose. If you were to hire a limited service discount agent, script, who is willing to give away their money just to put a sign in your yard, and you told that agent, I'm listing my house for $550, but $540 is my bottom line. I'm not taking a dollar under $540. Now, in real life, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get an offer for $530, and that limited service discount agent is going to say, that's awesome, because I know she'll sell her house for $540. Now, you could have got $550 if you had the right negotiator, if you had the right agent negotiating for you. But you sold your home for $540. So you lost $10,000 trying to save an extra $5,500, because that's 1% of $550, right? Do you want to hire an agent like that, Ryan?
No.
You want to hire a bulldog like me, a pit bull like me, who's a tough negotiator, who's getting an average of 99% of the asking price in less than 30 days on the market versus somebody who's going to give away your home, right? Cool. So what should we do? You ready to get started? Cool. The other response that you might get to what would it take to make it a 10 is, I'm concerned about your level of experience. In other words, I met with an agent who's a local expert. They're the neighborhood expert. Or they sell a lot of homes and you just don't have the resume that they do. So let's handle the local expert first, or the neighborhood expert, right? So, you know, Clarissa, you could hire a neighborhood expert, and the neighborhood expert probably has at least 3 or 4 listings in your neighborhood, right? And they win regardless of which one of those homes they sell. Matter of fact, they might even use your home as a comparable to sell another one of their listings. So they win regardless. You see, if you were to hire me, your home would be the only property I have in the neighborhood. And the only way that I win is when I sell your home. Now, do you want to hire someone who's less motivated to sell your home, or someone who's more motivated to sell your home?
Definitely someone more motivated.
Who's more motivated, that neighborhood expert who has 3 listings in the neighborhood, or me who has 1?
You seem quite motivated.
Yeah. So what should we do?
I can give you a try.
You ready to get started? There we go. Now, to the seller who says, I'm looking for somebody who has a better resume, somebody who's sold more homes. My response to that is, Ryan, I'm brand new. And that's exactly why you should hire me. Can I explain? Okay. You see, you could hire someone who's sold dozens of homes or hundreds of homes, and they're closing 4 or 5 homes every single month. And they win regardless of whether or not they sell your home. Or you could hire someone like me who's brand new and just getting started. Who's going to be more motivated to get your home sold? Who's going to be more motivated to get your home sold? Someone who's already selling 4 or 5 homes every month, or someone who's brand new like me? Do you want to hire somebody who's more motivated or less motivated to get your home sold? And after all, even that agent was new at some point, and somebody had to give them an opportunity to start their real estate career, right? You see, you could be that person for me. Are you ready to get started? Okay. All right, I'm going to take just a moment to give everybody in Zoom a chance to talk. Any questions, comments, ahas?
Hey, John, it's Karen.
Hi, Karen. Yes.
I really like and after all, even that agent was new at some point and someone gave them a chance.
Yep.
It gets straight to the heartstrings.
Yep, there you go. Logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. There you go. Going. Anybody else on Zoom? Because I'm taking these headphones off again. This is so odd. I promise we're going to fix that. It's not going to be like this every day. Angel, it's good seeing you. All right, headphones off. Talk to me. Give me an objection that I didn't give you so far. Something you've heard or you're afraid you're gonna hear. How about I've never heard of you, right? So my response to that is I've never heard of you either. Are you ready to get started? My cousin's a realtor. There we go. That's a good one. So Ryan, if you hire your cousin and your cousin's not doing a good job, How comfortable are you going to be going to your cousin and letting your cousin know that you're not happy with the service they're providing? What if you have to fire them? How is that going to feel? If I had a solution to that, would you like to hear it? Yeah. You see, you don't owe anybody anything, even your cousin, and you certainly don't owe me anything. But you do owe yourself the opportunity to hire the best agent for the job. Wouldn't you agree? And if I was the right agent for the job and satisfaction guaranteed, if you're not happy with the service that I'm providing, you can fire me. Every single one of my listing agreements is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And I were to pay your cousin a referral fee. Now you win because you get your home sold within the next 30 days so you can move to Atlanta in order to start your new job and your children can start school on time. Your cousin wins because your cousin is getting a referral fee without doing any work. And of course I win because I get the opportunity to work for you. Would that work?
Yeah.
Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Good. Be careful not to let any limiting beliefs stop you from getting a listing. I've gone on listing appointments before when the homeowner was a real estate agent. Why in the world should they hire me? Well, they did. There is absolutely nothing that's going to stop me from going on that appointment. Janice Thompson, her husband, I forget his name. She finally, after the 5th call, said yes to me coming out to see her home. She was selling it by owner. And then she said, John, you're wasting your time if you think you're going to get a listing because we're never going to list our home. And even if we did, my husband's a realtor. So don't come if you think you're going to get a listing. Lived on Lakeview Drive in Newport Richey, $350,000 home. At that time, that was a lot of money. So I go on the appointment and I meet with her and her husband. We have a great appointment. And I'm driving to my next appointment and my phone rings and it's Janice. Guess what she said? We want to list our house with you. When are you available? This is an agent who told me on the call, I'm never listing my house. If I do, my husband's a realtor, you're wasting your time. We're saying no to opportunity when we get in judgment. So be careful, don't judge away opportunity. Always be in curiosity. Yep.
I have an objection.
Yep.
It's an expired listing.
Yep.
They listed with the KW agent from another office. How would you handle it?
Okay, so the question is an expired listing that was on the market with another Keller Williams agent in another office.
Yes.
My response to that would be, Ryan, would you agree? By the way, did I have a response right away? Say yes. And this is not about me. This is about time on task over time equals mastery. And I've got 18,000 hours in this. I've heard every single one of these every single one of these objections. I've got 2 or 3 responses to every single one of them ready to go. Now, Ryan, would you agree that not all real estate agents are created equal?
Yeah.
Would you agree that not all real estate companies are created equal?
Yeah.
Not even all Keller Williams offices are created equal. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Well, if they were, they would all be selling exactly the same number of homes. And we know that's not true, correct?
Correct.
Would you agree that not all Keller Williams agents are created equal?
Yes.
So just because that agent was the wrong agent for the job doesn't mean that I am.
Okay.
Do you believe I can get your goals accomplished? Have I demonstrated today that I'm going to give you the best opportunity to achieve your goals? You have to say yes. You have to say something. Are you ready to get started? After all, he said yes. And fill out the paperwork. And after all, my listing agreement is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So if you're not happy with me, fire me. Now, if I wasn't going to meet your goals, if I wasn't going to exceed your expectations, would I give you the opportunity to fire me at any time with no fee and no stipulation? No. So you know I'm going to meet your goals. You know I'm going to exceed your expectations. I'm the right agent for the job. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. Guys, if you show up at a listing appointment just like that, Jonathan, every single time, are you going to get more listings? There you go. All right. I've got 9:29, time to say goodbye. Tomorrow, we're going to move on to the next subject and we're going to fix this sound thing. I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you for honoring me with your time.
Thank you, John.
I hope you got value today.
100%.
Absolutely.
Make it a great day, everybody.
Bye.